All right then. Welcome back, everybody. We are finally back in the new year with a new video. Another blind gameplay from Distracted Gaming. So, by blind gameplay, of course, I mean I've seen nothing but like the trailer and the description for the game. But this seems right up my alley. It's listed as a tactical rogue-lite. It's actually published by Humble Bundle or Humble Games. But Crying Suns. This is essentially a little sci-fi. You can see it's got pixel art style to it. Tactical game that I guess you have roguelike situations in. So we'll kind of see how that goes. Like I said, completely going on this blind. I haven't even looked at this is the first time I've even booted up the game, so we'll kind of see, make sure everything's good here. I think I'm fine with all of that. None of that really seems to be an issue. I'll probably lower the music just a little bit, just in case. And sure. Not many options to go through. All right, let's do this. I didn't want to interrupt the intro there. I didn't know if there's going to be any voiceover or anything. Probably not. The game's not very big. It's like half a gig, I think. So, unlikely that there's spoken dialogue. Very Matrix-like. Where am I? Yeah, so this is clearly inspired by the Matrix, but it seems like instead of the machines using us as batteries, they help us, grow us. I don't know. I seem like I'm a clone that probably plays into the roguelite. Guess we'll find out here. Caliban. Okay. A dwarf planet on the outer rim. Most call it Gehenna, if they call it anything at all. This, Admiral, is a top-secret cloning facility for the Imperial forces. The one and only of its kind. I am Caliban, its Omni Guardian. I don't understand. His name is Ellis Idaho. Alright. You have died, Admiral. Or, to put it another way, the true version of you has died. You are his clone, identical to the original Ellis Idaho in every possible way with some minor differences. When did Admiral Idaho die? How? Unfortunately, I do not know the details of my clones' lives, as interesting as they must be. Extraneous to my directives, I believe. Which leads me to why I've woken you. You must be curious after all. I need your help. A machine asking for my help? Now I truly feel strange. Not just a machine, Admiral, an Omni, short for Omni-Mechanical Neo-N Intelligence. Emperor Oberon invented us. Now your kind relies on us for just about everything. Come right out with it. I believe the Empire is in danger. In danger? What in the name of Oberon are you talking about? I like the sound effect they're using for the voice, actually. Once every 4 years, under the most secretive of protocols, I receive a single transmission from Elysium, our capital. Those transmissions stopped arriving. So you send a transmission yourself? I don't see the problem. That was not a question. All right. That's just it. I can't. This facility was built in such a way to prevent it from initializing contact with the Empire to help keep it a secret. Something is wrong. I am certain of it. And I've awoken you so that we can fly out of here in an Omega-class battleship, no less, and see for ourselves. We? I believe you'll find my intelligence indispensable for our mission, Admiral. I don't have your kind's limitations. If you're so smart, what do you need me for? Why don't you command the battleship? Because of Oberon's Rubicon, It prohibits omnis from commanding battleships. War is a human prerogative. Ain't that the truth? Also, since I can assume the clones here are the best of the best, that would make you the best Imperial Admiral to ever exist. I'd say you're perfect for the job. I'll do it, machine. For Oberon and the Empire. It's my duty as an Imperial Admiral. Excellent. Now, just one more thing. Standard operating procedure requires I ask, can you recall any of your emotional memories? This sounds like a character creation introduction here. Emotional memories? Any memory linked to a strong emotion like love or hate, these memories, because of their complex neural pathways, will be a bit trickier for you to access, I'm afraid. I'm not sure. Then if you would do me the honor of trying to recall one, any emotional memory will do. I can't. So much as blurred, broken apart. Don't worry, Admiral. Perfectly normal for this stage. You'll find rational memories, on the other hand. Those linked to Idaho's training and combat experience almost immediately accessible. Just ask if you need a refresher. Lastly, and this is important, if these emotional memories return, rather when they return, you must tell me immediately. It's important for your safety. Yes, your safety. Do you understand? I understand. Perfect. Now let's wake up the rest of the crew, shall we? We don't have a moment to waste. And please, Admiral. What is it now, machine? Call me Caliban. Noted. Okay, Gehenna Battleship Omega Crafter Interface. Crafter with a K. It's apparently made by macaroni and cheese people. Alright, so let's see. Select a battleship class. So it looks like eventually... Okay, yeah. As we complete different chapters, we get to unlock all sorts of different stuff here. Defeat a Pragma with its interstitial tracking charge at 0%. Defeat all the phalanx in their system. I assume this is probably top end. But in the meantime, we start with this Excelsior class. Looks like there may be some upgrade levels here. Let's see if we can try to figure out what's going on here. Gehenna's Tech, core system, improve your squadron's repair time while in hangar by 50% from 60 seconds to 30 seconds. I have 2 officers left to select. Okay. Don't see any officers here. Oh, we also have this as well. Let's see. So squadrons, additional squadron docks. Add a squadron dock to use an additional squadron in battle. The more squadron docks you have, the more units can fight for your ship. I have 2. Okay. This is just the information about it, I guess. Subsystems, yeah, officers. I don't have any officers. Weapons. Oh, I see. That's what this button's going to be for. So we have drones. 4 squadrons. It looks like we have... Why is this orange? Because it's injured. Patched currently. Okay. These have massive damage bonus versus frigates. And these have massive damage bonus versus fighters. And these have... Okay, so it's a very rock, paper, scissors situation. Fighters beat drones, drones beat frigates, frigates beat fighters. Pretty straightforward. Weapons, Piercer Laser Mark 1. We only have the 1 weapon. It's unfortunate. Impact Zone. I can't hover over anything one more there. Right. Damage of 15, delay of 22 seconds. So every 22 seconds I can make 15 damage. Impact Zone is central by the looks of it, whatever that means. Then auxiliary systems, okay. Increased resource rewards, easier enemies, normal resource rewards, normal enemies, low, harder. Got it. Alright, let's go ahead and choose these officers here. So they have 3 ladies and a man, 2 spies, a soldier, and a scientist. What do spies give me, I wonder? Let's see. Reach a second tier, or the second sector to change the officer clone batch. Gotcha. Special Officer DNA database. Oh. Okay, there's some really interesting looking silhouettes down here. Cool, cool. Alright, yeah, because the two spies have different skills, although they both have sharp senses, whatever that does. She's got persuasion, she's got discretion. Okay, makes sense, that seems spy-like. Our scientist here we're going to want to pick up has erudition and hack. This ability applies to fighters, looks like, or to squadrons, I guess. Yeah, squadrons DPS increased. That seems good. So we'll definitely do him. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, this matches up with the skills. Fascinating. Okay, yeah, we're definitely taking him. Solomon Chiang. Let's look at our soldier here as well. So they have piloting and demolition. Oh, it even shows you what you already have available in your officers. That's cool. Okay. Proximity repair, cooldown 50 seconds, supply regen to all allied squadrons in your deploy zone for 10 seconds. Restores 2 health per second, remove all time negative effects when applied. That seems pretty good. Famous, sold at 3.5 times the normal price in shops. I can sell my spy? That could come in handy later, I would assume. And then emergency repair, hull repair, 0.5 points per second. Well, that seems good. We're going to go ahead and go with this one. I guess we won't be able to pick the other two at any point. What do we got here for info? Oh, system compatibility. These icons represent the battleship's main systems. An officer needs to be assigned to a system compatible with their special ability to use it. In case of critical damages in a battleship system, all officers in the system will repair it with no compatibility issues. I see. We didn't have anything in engineering. That seems bad. Skills are used to resolve situations both on planetary expeditions and during events. It is often a good idea to maximize the number of different skills you have among your officers. For sure, for sure. All right. So I think we're going to do hard. Just because I'll probably regret it. But, I mean, if we're going to go for it, why not? Right? Let's see how hard we can make things for ourselves. Probably, like most things, just set up to say you should try on normal first, and then if you find that harder. Wonder if I can change this as well, though. I don't know. We'll see. Everything is ready, Admiral. Let's go ahead and start. Off we go. Into the depths of space. Ooh. Oh. Oh, Caliban's red. Interesting. These are the sectors of the Outer Rim, Admiral. The farthest sectors from the capital that there are. I missed that word. If there was ever a wasteland in the Empire, this would be it. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Strange. I'm not picking up other Omnis. Even out here, I should be picking up dozens of them. Let's try not to overreact, machine. It keeps calling them machines. Very interesting. It's probably nothing. The Empire has run flawlessly for how many years now? 700. Look how we can see our crew here as well. And it will do so for hundreds more. Now, come on, let's take a look around. No hand holding at all, which is kind of nice. Okay, so this is, I guess, going to fill out eventually here. Get the map. What we got here? Neon and fuel. Each time you travel to a new planet or system, it costs you 1 fuel unit. How do I refuel? Scrap, currently used to upgrade your battleship or purchase items in shops or during events. Okay. And commandos, trained soldiers that can be sent on expeditions or used during events. Cool, cool. Alright, sector 1-3. 1 of 3. Entrance system. Cost 1 GON to reach. There is one anomaly there. I guess these are the different planetary bodies or stations and stuff within here. It says there's 5, so that makes sense. And there's a ground signal as well. Okay. Ooh. So anomaly signals are the riskiest events you'll encounter, offering very positive or very negative outcomes. I see. You won't know which type of event it is, negative or positive, until arriving at the signal source. Got it. Two values for hull by the looks of it here. Can't close the map. Alright, so we're just gonna go ahead and fly here, I guess. Oh, nice. Wow, okay. I like the artistic style for sure. Oh, what do we have here, Lieutenant? It appears to be some kind of cube-like refinery, sir. It's the Borg, obviously. Alright, this is... it's a Neo and Hypercube Omnitech for the simultaneous harvesting and refining of neutrinium from nearby stars. Okay, so we can refuel with that. Interesting, if not downright bizarre. This cube isn't connected to the fold net. How could that be, and why aren't there Hypercube Omnis trying to reconnect it as I speak? Yeah, we're gonna ask for explanations, because I have no clue what the hell's going on. Certain things are still blurry to me, machine. What do you want to know, Admiral? Neo N, please. Tell me about Neo N. Neon. Hundreds of years ago, pre-Omni times, the first advanced machines discovered the existence of the final element, neutrinium, which exists usually, but not always, in stars. Neutrinium is extremely volatile in its natural state, but these advanced machines stabilized and improved upon it, providing the most powerful and longest-lasting energy source yet, Neo-Neutrinium, or Neo-N. Got it. Neo-N, I'll call that Neon from now on. Neon, in turn, allowed these first machines to create an even more advanced machine, the Omni, an acronym for Omni-Mechanical Neon Intelligence. Omni is one of the words in Omni. Okay, sure. But I thought you told me Oberon invented the Omnis. I did, you're absolutely right, but technically it's not entirely true. Oberon invented the first advanced machines, which in turn, thanks in part to their creation of Neon, invented the Omnis. Neon, in its refined state, is the perfect energy source, stable and almost boundless in its energy field. As a result, it's used in just about all Omnitech, as humans stopped inventing tech hundreds of years ago. Interesting. Lastly, what's important about Neon is that our very own battleship, the NS Odysseus, uses it, and without it, we can't go anywhere. What do you want to know? Tell me about the fold net. Yeah, I was curious about that. As you probably recall by now, Admiral, the Omnis have invented and managed Imperial tech more or less since the dawn of the Empire. The fold net, arguably our greatest achievement, forms the backbone of the Empire, very likely some sort of communication network. Think of it as a global galactic network allowing instant data and/or matter transmission, wow, through its numerous interconnected folders and beacons. Coughing fit. And without the constant vigilance and management of FoldNet Omnis, none of it would be possible, and humanity would live in a fragmented, chaotic darkness. Explains why we lost contact then. The FoldNet seems to be down. Needless to say, it's important. Indeed, and it... Oh my, there's more. Okay. Folders. Let's see. Let's see if I can explain this to you in a way you could possibly understand. In the early days of the Empire, at a speed of 100 times that of light speed, possible, The interstice offered the fastest travel available. It was fast, don't get me wrong, but traveling from cluster to cluster could still take decades. To assist Empire administration, and just because we could, the Omnis invented a means to travel from 2 points in space instantaneously. The folders. Yes, each folder, several kilometers across, is linked or paired with another folder through a process of, this is going to be really difficult to explain to a non-quantum computing entity. Essentially, all you need to know is that these paired folders collapse or fold space for a very brief amount of time so as to join 2 points in space previously unjoined. It creates wormholes. It's not that difficult to understand, but sure. Without the folders, Oberon could never have grown his empire, nor kept it together for the 700 years that he has. Is this Oberon immortal? Interesting. Each folder is run by an Omni. These Omnis are cleverly known as folder Omnis. Very clever machine. Very clever. Without them, the folders simply cannot work. Lastly, in order to reach Elysium, the Empire's capital, on our journey, we will have to use several folders. Why can't we just teleport to Elysium directly? We are deep in the Outer Rim. The few folders paired with Elysium will be found only in very important hubs. We'll need to reach those first. Okay, and lastly, possibly, no, we have the beacons as well. Didn't ask about that. What can you tell me about FoldNet beacons? The beacons, which we'll most likely encounter in our journey, function as repeaters, amplifying all FoldNet data transmission throughout the clusters. I didn't realize there was going to be this much dialogue here to start with, but sure. Beacons allow all Empire citizens, even if they live out here on the Outer Rim and are, for all intents and purposes, socially and culturally irrelevant, to receive and send information to the galaxy instantly. Oberon believes that everyone has the right to instantaneous information and materials in his sectors. Quite debatable, if you ask me. And the interstice. Interstice is another Omni-invented tech, one of the first great inventions, the one developed long before the folders. With their interstitial tech, the Omnis created an empty space dimension between the ones you know, what we call a tunnel, where the universal light speed behaves, let's say, differently. In an interstitial tunnel, it's possible to reach up to 100 times the speed of light, a speed that allowed your kind to colonize their nearest stars. However, interstitial travel still has its limitations. For example, at this speed, it would take you 750 years to travel from one end of the Empire to the other, a period of time greater than the age of the Empire itself, hence the need for folders. However, the interstice is sufficient when traveling intra-cluster and within that cluster's sectors. Cool. That's enough for now, machine. What do we want to do about this hypercube? Send a small team to investigate the cube. Captain Lynch, form a small squadron. Fly around the cube and tell me what you see. On it, sir. Sir, the Omni was right. The cube isn't connected to the FoldNet, and by the looks of it, hasn't been connected in years. Just a guess here, but I'd say it looks like it's been disconnected for maybe 10, 15 years. How could you tell? At least, sir, could the Empire have, I don't know, disconnected it on purpose? I don't think so, Admiral. I'm not a cube Omni myself, but cubes are complex tech needing constant supervision. Disconnecting it would make that all but impossible. And the neon levels? Empty, sir. There's no neon here whatsoever. Looks like whoever came here before us took all of it. We won't be fueling here. Ah, I see. The reserves might be empty, but there could still be some residual neon coursing through the cube. I should be able to unlock this final restraint so that we can scavenge the leftovers. It won't be much, but it will help our efforts. There. We should be able to scavenge neon fuel here now, but that'll be the last of it in this cube. All suns have a neon cube where you have a chance to scavenge some precious leftover fuel. Okay. You can hover over them too. That's kind of nice. Just them. Alright, is this some sort of minigame? Should I be, like, deploying people? I feel like I should, right? Guess our weapons are just whatever they're gonna be. Alright, anyways, let's see. So, we'll go ahead and scavenge. Okay. I think I understand that there then. And now the local system map, I suppose. Alright, so here's the star. Locked because we're here, I assume. We can't just skip orbits, we have to go elsewhere. Here's where the anomaly is. We'll definitely want to make our way there. But it clearly has us wanting to head here first. An unidentified signal or something. Oh, that cost us the fuel just to move within system as well. That's interesting. Sir, battleship, 12 o'clock. Thank you, Lieutenant Hawks. What kind of battleship, Lieutenant? Couldn't say, sir. I've never seen a ship like this in all my service. Incoming transmission. On screen, Lieutenant Ozu. Aha. An Imperial battleship made from Telos tech. My youth is wavering. Hello, grub. Clearly some sort of ogre or something. This is Admiral Idaho of the Imperial Fleet. Stand down, Captain. This is an Imperial sector you find yourself in. Imperial sector? That's funny, imp. Alright. On to the combat tutorial, I suppose. Okay, alright. You can deploy your officers during fights. Some officers have special abilities that can boost specific systems. All officers can also repair critical effects sustained by any system. There are 3 systems, squadron, weapon, and hull, so be careful where you deploy your officers. I've already got that taken care of. Squadrons are essential to protect your battleship and destroy the enemy. To deploy your squadrons, click on the plus sign in the empty dock. For now, your second dock will be locked until you have learned the basics. Use your weapons to gain a decisive advantage on the battlefield. Weapons can be deployed by clicking the plus sign in the empty dock. Your neurocom can also accelerate your thoughts to a point where time appears totally still. Press space to enter and exit from pause. I see. To access game menu tutorials, again press escape level. Okay. We are in tactical pause right now. What do we got here? Fighter, drone, frigate. Okay, this just shows you the triangle there. Can see details about their stuff. They have half the hull strength we do. Looks like it's interesting how I can see they have one available. We'll only have one available as well. They're gonna send out drones. So we're gonna want to send out fighters. These guys. So curious why we have this. Like, what's the deal with the patched? I don't know. Anyways, we're gonna want to send out fighters. So. And then we choose where. Can we just send them out as far as we can? Don't see why not. And I suppose it makes sense to go ahead and get a weapon in there. Assume it has to charge up first. Alright, we'll go ahead and unpause and see what happens here. Okay, our weapon has deployed. Okay, it looks like it's got a countdown on it there. Yeah. Oh, I have to, like, command them. Well, shit. Okay, can I get you to, like, take out their weapon? Does our weapon fire on its own, is the question. There we are, weapon ready to fire. It's finished charging and ready to fire. Click on it. Choose a target on the battlefield, deal damage to your enemies. Alright, so click on it, and we're gonna go straight for the hull, I guess. Boom. Yeah, these guys are still, like, attacking the weapons, though, so that's fine. Oh, well, that was easy. Good job, Admiral. Here's a summary of the battle. We had 49 scrap. Got it. What was that thing? I like the explosion effects. That's pretty good. Should be moving towards the planet, yeah, for gravity and whatnot, but sure. I guess the impacts on this side are gonna blow it out that way. I don't know, Lieutenant. Not sure what I want to either. Really? Okay. So there's a station here. I don't get to, like, examine it or anything. I guess it's gonna be very specific stuff here. On the plus side, looks like our stuff's already selected for the next time we come across something. Alright, so now we are heading to Buzao 7. An Imperial outpost, sir. It seems abandoned. Any heat signatures? Not a single one. Seems empty of all human life. What about an omnipresence? They should be here managing the station, no? They should, and no, I'm not detecting any. This is getting stranger and stranger. What can you tell me about this outpost? It's gonna be a very dialogue-heavy episode here. Seems to be just your run-of-the-mill Imperial outpost, Admiral. There are outposts in all Imperial sectors. With the capital Elysium so far away, they help keep the peace and maintain order. You must show your military might so you don't have to use it, I believe, is the thinking, but there's definitely no military might here. What do you want to do about the outpost? Let's try to make contact first. Lieutenant, see if you can make contact with someone, human or not, inside. Of course, Admiral. Sorry, sir, if there's anyone inside, they're not answering. What do you want to do? So yeah, let's send a team of commandos for a closer look. Captain Lean, form a small team and check it out. You got it, sir. Do I also control this, or is this just kind of a... Oh, alright. Outpost is empty. Seems it was abandoned years ago, if I had to guess, probably around the time the hypercube back there was disconnected from the fold net. Looks like someone came here, took the most valuable Omni parts, neon encapsulators, positronic chips, and left the rest behind. Scavenging Omni parts. Who would do such a thing? That's a capital offense. One the Pragma execute you for. Hold on, sir. I'm getting a transmission. My commandos have found something. An Omni, intact from top to bottom. Is it functional? That's a negative, sir. It was in a lower level. Guess whoever was here, before us, didn't go down that far. Might have needed high clearance to get in. Admiral, I can examine it from here if the captain plugs the datapad into the exosoc. Sure thing, Omni. Okay, accessing the Omni's mainframe. And? Strange. Its exoframe is perfectly intact, it has plenty of neon, and its positronic chip seems to be in place. It should be up and running. I don't get it. Any idea when it shut down? According to its chip, 20 years ago. Roughly the time the hyperkey was unlinked from the FoldNet. We have 3 new options here. More dialogue, yay. I have some questions. Can you reactivate the Omni? Unfortunately, no. Only Omni owners can do that. Besides, this Omni isn't just in sleep mode. It's been shut down. It's this positronic chip. Another Omni invention? Actually, no. Your kind invented this, as incredible as that is. Specifically, Emperor Oberon. The positronic chip serves several purposes. 1, it contains the Rubicon, and 2, it dictates Omni functionality. My functions are specifically to Gehenna, and as such are different from the functions of other Omnis, whether they be Imperial Outpost Omnis like the Omni here, Folder Omnis, Cube Omnis, Medical Omnis, Teacher Omnis, or the hundreds of other kinds of Omnis that exist in the Empire. Lastly, the positronic chip gives Omnis quantum computing capabilities, what allows us to be so much smarter than you. Positronic chips are produced and distributed near Elysium. Of course, that's by design, so that Oberon can closely monitor the positronic quota. Simply put, without a positronic chip, an Omni is little more than its exoframe. This is chip quota. Yes, so as to maintain perpetual harmony in the Empire, Oberon created a quota. Depending on your house, and whether it's minor or major, you receive a certain number of chips every 10 years. Who received the most chips? House Telos, of course, Oberon's house. Our house. And the fewest? One of the minor houses, Vicarelli. They have a pitiful quota, embarrassingly, really. I'd hate to be Vicarelli Omni. Interesting. And this Rubicon, I've heard this a couple times now. Rubicon is a set of rules enforced at a very low level, ensuring that Omnis don't harm humans and don't deviate from their missions. Suppose an Omni disobeyed its Rubicon. What would happen then? Well, that is quite rare, but unfortunately there are examples of this occurring in the early days. But if that happens, then the chip would deactivate and trigger a self-termination feature in the Omni. Omni suicide? It's just a feature, Admiral. A rarely activated feature. Right on. We've already asked about that, so let's go ahead and... Hold on. Did it have... No. Alright. Thought it was going to give me something else just because it's like the only option on there that we've already done. Okay. So, could be a good time to take a break. I agree. What do you want to do about this outpost? Continue on. I'll admit it, something is wrong, at least in the outer rim. I don't want to further worry you, but our battleship's heuristics are detecting an anomaly at our next destination. Indeed. It's one of those creatures again, sir. Maybe this one will be friendly? I highly doubt that. Pluck. Nice ship you got there. I'm gonna enjoy scrapping it over your dead bodies. You're going down, whatever you are. Alright then. Each basic squadron type is best suited to fight against a particular squadron, providing it with massive damage bonus, if properly matched. Be sure to find out a unit's strength and weaknesses before deploying it. So they're going to be deploying fighters this time, so we want to deploy frigates. There we are. And right-click that. We'll go ahead and do some frigates here. We'll have them pop out there. We've already got our weapons kind of ready to go here. This time I think maybe we fire at their weapons. I don't know. They've got the same low health, so we might be able to just do the same thing as last time. Stands to reason. Hit the right click like it's an RTS. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and attack the weapons again. Our weapons ready to fire. Let's go ahead and pop the hull. Or we could, because their weapon's going to be ready to fire at some point too, we could just aim at the weapons. I don't know. Just the hull doesn't really matter. Or it doesn't really matter. The hull's 15, it says, which is interesting. These are all 15. Maybe we can just blow up one of them. What is this then? I would swear that's the hull points. It is like shielding them. Yeah, you see their weapon is powering up. Okay, they have critical heat. When max heat reaches the weapon bay, weapons are locked for a certain amount of time, so that's what's going on there. Cool, cool, cool. Alright, so now we can have them... I mean, we could just have them keep firing on that, but let's go ahead and have them fire on the hull, I guess. Yeah, okay. We've got a new fighter Mark 1. This is on hard. I expected a little harder difficulty than this, even in the tutorial here, but sure. Though we had yet another brush with death. Sure. At least our scanners detected the anomaly this time. Tell me more about these anomalies, machine. Anomalies are destinations with a higher than normal probability of being very negative or very positive. Fortunately, we won't know what kind of outcome to expect until we arrive at the source's signal. You could say investigating anomaly signals is a bit of a gamble. Good to know. Come on, there's got to be someone around here who can tell us what's going on. So we're running out of neon, interestingly. Also, like, is there not a... I guess there's not really much to do here. We have an abandoned auto factory. This has a ground signal of some sort. And we're now down to 1 neon, so hopefully we can find more neon here. There would appear to be a small colony on this planet, Admiral. Maybe we can finally get some answers. I'm also detecting a ground signal, roughly 1,000 kilometers from the colony. Could be worth investigating with an expedition. Hello? Is anyone there? It's David Bowie. This is Admiral Ellis Idaho of the Imperial Fleet. I am Tygan Bowie, leader of my small colony. What can we do for you, Admiral? If it's scrap you're looking for, I'm sorry, but we have none to spare. Scrap? We're here to find out what's going on in these sectors. I don't understand. We've yet to encounter a single active Omni, and 2 enemy battleships have engaged us. Is this some sort of sick joke, Admiral? The Omni's shut down. Impossible. The Omnis shut down in our sectors, and when they did, so did all of their tech. We can't run without them. How? When? I have no idea how it happened. I'm not sure even Oberon does. It's truly the great mystery of our time. As for when, 20 years ago. We relied on them for everything. Food, medicine, weather. Weather, interesting. It's hard to give accurate numbers, but maybe 75% of the population here died in the first 5 years alone. Now, who knows how many of us are left? 10%? Less. I'll learn a little bit about scrap here. Mentioned something called scrap. Tell me a little more. Well, now that the Omnis have been inactive for so long, Imperial Soul, the former currency, no longer holds value of any sort. The only thing that does is scrap. Remnants of Omnitech, its metals, ship materials, and neon, our energy source. As Omnitech becomes scarcer and scarcer, which it has over the last 20 years, its value has appreciated, causing people to act in increasingly desperate and violent ways to get it. That's why scrappers want to destroy your ship so much. It's so they can collect its broken down parts and sell them, just so they can prolong their miserable lives. But it's not just the scrappers and the pirates who desire the stuff. It's just that most of us common folk aren't willing to kill for it, at least not yet. Is there something else you want to know? Let's ask how you can help their planet and people in these sectors. What can the NS Odysseus do to help? Defeating the scrappers would be a nice start. Things would look a whole lot better with those scum out of the way. The scrappers? Don't tell me you don't know about them either. It's like you've been living this entire time on an uninhabited planet on the edge of the Outer Rim. Well. The scrappers are a group of hideous, irradiated scavengers who collect leftover Omnitech and Neon. Ah, they're super mutants from Fallout. Yeah. When the Omnis shut down, causing the fold-net to collapse in our sectors, they were the ones who took over in the chaos. They're not the only rotten apples around here with your pirates and your occasional crazy civilian, but they're definitely the worst. They defeated the Imperial ships? How? Telos Tech is second to none. Imperial captains are trained at the Academy. True, but the scrappers' battleships wore them down. Picked off one here, another there. It was a war of attrition. Plus, the Empire couldn't send reinforcements, not with our folder down, you see. I hate to say it, but I think it's just a matter of time before they make slaves of us all. Even if you beat them, even if you beat Mother, okay, it won't change anything. The way we're going, 10, 15 years from now, with all the hardships we're experiencing, will be gone, all of us, unless what? You somehow reactivate the Omnis, turn them back on again. The ones that haven't been scavenged for their parts, that is. That's the only way to save us. Is there something else you want to know? But how can we do that? You're asking the wrong guy, I'm afraid. As I said, no one knows who or what shut them down. You'll have to solve that mystery on your own. Once you do, you'll still have to find a way to turn them back on, which might be another thing altogether. Where should we start? I hate to say it, but Mother is probably your best bet. I mean, she benefited the most from them shutting down in this cluster, didn't she? Then again, there are a lot of theories out there about who or what is responsible for this. Yeah, what the hell is Mother? You really don't want to know, Admiral. For some reason, that's what they call her, their leader, Mother, Mom, Mommy. It's all very upsetting. From what I gather, she was the one who started the Scrappers, fostering a punk nihilistic scavenging philosophy among their sordid ranks. And who makes up her ranks? Former Imperial prisoners, I think, the worst of the worst. When the Omnis shut down, the prisoners escaped from their Omni-run prisons and psychiatric stations. Mother loves her tech, especially House Telos tech, like the battleship you have, and she and the Boyles who work for her will kill you for it. Enjoy doing it too. She's been terrorizing these sectors for years now, enslaving men and women to bolster her numbers and make them into her playthings and baby makers, as she calls them. Goodness. Sure. Playthings and baby makers? You don't want to know who they are, but since you asked, the playthings are Mother's sex slaves and the baby makers are, you know, what she uses to make babies. Scrappers often die young from their exposure to neon, as they should. Thank Oberon for that. Mother uses her baby makers to keep the scrapper numbers growing. She supposedly has breeding stations spread throughout these sectors. Frankly, I can't imagine a worse place. Goodness. We'll do everything we can to stop these monsters, you have my word. Did Mother shut down the Omnis? Like I said before, Admiral, I couldn't say, but if she didn't do it, I'd wager some serious scrap she knows who did. But I don't recommend asking her, Admiral. I don't recommend getting anywhere near her, for that matter. Frankly, Mother terrifies me. Let's ask about the scrappers who control the sector. Tell me more about the scrappers who work for Mother and control these sectors. Each sector is controlled by one of Mother's cronies. You'll recognize them by their freakish mutations brought on by their exposure to too much neon. But I sincerely hope you don't see them, because if you do, well, usually you don't live to tell about it. It's not the bravest thing to do, but I'll say it again. Hide. Make yourself inconspicuous, Admiral. And if you're lucky, you'll live another 10 or 15 years. Huh. I don't need to know any more about this. Don't blame you, it's not exactly for the faint of heart. Yeah, what are the prevailing theories right now for who did this shutdown? I've heard a few, Admiral. Even in times of starvation, people like to gossip. Probably the most popular around here is the omnivirus theory, which is that somehow the Omnis got some kind of machine virus that quickly spread and ultimately shut them down. But that theory doesn't hold water for me. Why not? It doesn't explain how or why they all shut down at the same time, which, you know, they seemingly did around here. One moment they're working, doing whatever they've always done, making our lives easier, and the next, they weren't. I don't know of any virus that can do that, do you? What other theories have you heard? Well, after that, you've got your less credible theories, such as... Well, you've got your Omni mass suicide theory that states that the Omnis, upset over their role in the Empire, somehow found a way to shut themselves down, to kill themselves because they no longer wanted to live. Then you've got your Omni rapture theory, which is that the Omnis left this realm to go to a heavenly realm. This theory is popular among certain fringe religious groups, which whack jobs if you ask me. And last but not least, you've got your alien shutdown theory, which is that hostile aliens from another galaxy, or is it another dimension, shut down all of our Omnis so that they could easily conquer us. Big problem with that theory is that, as far as I know, the hostile aliens never showed up. And what do you think? Me? I think we never should have become so dependent on things in the first place. That's what I think. Correct. I promise, in the name of Oberon, we'll take care of these scrappers and get your Omnis up and running again. You say that, Admiral, but you'll fail, or you'll stop trying sooner or later, or worse yet, you'll die. But take this neon, Admiral. We have plenty at the moment. I have a feeling you'll need it. And like I said, I know it's not the bravest thing to do, but it's best if you hide. You live longer that way. Alright, 4 neon. That'll restock our fuel here. End of transmission. Do you believe what he said, Admiral? Okay, got something up there. The shutdown. Unfortunately, yes, it explains everything we've seen so far. The Omnis shut down in the Outer Rim, and so did their tech, including this cluster's folder. That's why those scrappers now run things here. So what do we do now, sir? First thing we need to do is find this Mother. As Bowie said, if she didn't shut the Omnis down, chances are she knows who or what did. If you want to move on, Admiral, open the star map and choose our next system. Otherwise, you might want to stay and check out this ground signal I was telling you about. Could be a good opportunity to gather some resources, put your commandos to use. Absolutely, we're going to do that. Now that you've learned the basics, your second dock has been unlocked. Very good. Remember to make good use of it while commanding your squadrons. A numerical advantage is often a turning point in battle. You can access the expedition dashboard here. Of course. Requires 3 commandos. We have 12, so that's plenty. I wonder if that, like, eliminates them, though. And I have to restock them. I guess we'll find out here. Let's prepare mission. This will be the last thing we'll do on this episode here. Looks like we scan the planets. Find the signal somewhere, right? Okay. Artifacts. Abandoned auto factory. Major threats? No major threat detected. This is the number of commandos sent on the expedition. Minimal requirement for commandos is 3. Maximum number of commandos will be sent up to 10 if you have enough of them. The more you send, the better your chances for success. I see. This section displays the type of artifacts you will have a chance to collect during the expedition, which each type will always yield the same kind of reward. Section displays type of major threats. Exceptionally dangerous situations your team will face during the expedition. Be careful about those. Ground distress signals display the number of retreat opportunities offered to your team through the expedition, or during the expedition. Officer survival represents the chance your leading officer has to return safely. Healthy officers have a chance to come back incapacitated. Already weakened officers have a chance to die. An incapacitated or a dead officer will abort the mission, forcing the team to retreat to the ship without loot. Resource extraction meter represents the minimum and maximum percent of encounter resources, artifact included, that your team will have a chance to bring back with them to your ship if the leading officer survives the expedition. And the commando survival meter represents the chances your commandos have to return safely. It displays the minimum and maximum possible number of commandos that will make it back to your ship. To access the game and tutorials, etc. Okay. So minimum requirement is 3. We're sending 10. So it's questionable that that 7 of them are guaranteed to come back by the look of it, but 3 of them may not. And our resources we might not get to. But then so that's max, and then on minimum, so it's questionable. On minimum, we could lose all of them. Interesting. And then oh, no, I see. I was thinking this was like min, this was max. No. Okay. If our scientist leads this, it's not going to turn out so well. If our spy leads us, a spy, right? I think she was. Then we have a much more significant chance of success. Which I assume, like, some of these are going to help out with here. So this abandoned factory, find this artifact to retrieve a lot of scrap. Okay. I thought it was, like, an actual factory we could then use. 1 retreat chance, I don't think that matters. There's no major threats detected. Doesn't mean there's no minor threats, I guess. Yeah, let's launch, see what happens. Lieutenant, Caliban's detected an artifact on this planet that could be helpful to our mission. We have a good idea where it is, but we'll need you and a team of commandos on the ground to find and extract it. We'll have visuals, but space-to-ground communication will be minimal. We can't risk giving away the location of our battleship or exposing you to potential local threats. Only contact us when it's secure to do so, and I'll decide if an emergency retreat is necessary. Of course, any additional resources you encounter should be extracted too. This is a dangerous mission. Some of our commandos could die in the field. Do your best to keep them safe. Now, get going. A shuttle's waiting for you and the commandos. Good luck down there. Thank you, sir. Zoom. Resources cache. Ooh, danger. Danger avoided. I see. That's cool. So she can avoid danger because she has the discretion now. Ooh, okay. The line is secure, Admiral. You've seen our bio readouts. What do you think? Should we continue with the mission? We've lost 1 commando. We only need 3 to complete this. Not that that's a thing, but We currently have 3 injured. Still plenty left here. She still has plenty of health, in my opinion. She only lost 2. Yeah, go ahead and continue. Very good. There's the abandoned auto factory. Awesome. And they discreetly went in, collected some scrap. Oh, they can keep going. Alright, that's interesting. Oh yeah. Nice. Okay. Waiting for extraction. Hell yeah. Okay, we lost 1. Acceptable losses, I suppose. We've got 125 scrap and 2 neon. So that's very good. Boom. Very good. Alright, star map button opens current sector star map, where you can choose your next destination system. Alright, so we're gonna end it here for this episode. Just barely scratching the surface of this. This episode was very dialogue heavy, which is fine. There's a lot to learn and get to know about what's happening and what we need to do and what we can do. So that's all a thing. But we'll go ahead and cut this one and go to the next time where we will go to the next system and hopefully have a little bit more to do than just chit chat. So thanks for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe so you know when the next episode goes live. If you want to check out my other channel, Distracted Games, you can definitely do that. That's going to be more about learning how to code, game development, things of that nature. I do have more videos going up there shortly. And then also I am on Twitch. I stream there every now and then. That is twitch.tv/distracted-games. Might actually be _games. Distracted_games makes more sense. Or you can just, Google Distracted Games. I'm all over the place with that name. So otherwise, thanks for watching. Have a good one.